Welcome to English for Accounting. My name is Jessica Ramirez, and today we are going to start our first session learning key vocabulary for your profession. Let's get started with the agenda. Today, you are going to identify the definition and purpose of accounting. Then, you're going to comprehend the accounting principles. After that, you're going to understand the accounting equation and finally recognize and practice the meaning of key vocabulary. Let's get started. My dear students, what's accounting for you? We are going to pause the video so I can hear from you from your information. Now, let me show you an example that will help clarify this idea. In the first picture, we have a business, and this business is a restaurant. Well, the business owners perform different transactions. These transactions provide different and important information that is transformed by a very important person, a superhero. This information will be provided to the owners of the business so they can make different decisions that are important for the growth and success of this business. So then, teacher, what is accounting? Well, accounting is the process of analyzing, recording, and summarizing financial information, what we call business transactions. Analyzing is a synonym of examine, recording is a synonym of register or write down, taking notes, and summarizing is a synonym of recapitulating. When we talk about business transactions, we are talking about the sales of a product, perhaps. And when this business, like the restaurant, buy a product, like for example, a minivan or a motorcycle to do delivery, or when they give a service. This will apply to any kind of business. Now, the process of accounting is analyze, record, and communicate this information that will be important for the people of interest, for the users inside and outside the company. So they will analyze and make important decisions. When I say analyze, I talk about analyze only important events. Then they will record. That means systemize, classify, and summarize this information. And finally, communicate the financial reports. So, what is the purpose of accounting? The purpose of accounting is to provide information about a business and to provide protection over the assets of the company. Teacher, what are assets? Well, I will tell you in a minute. What are the accounting principles then? When we talk about the accounting principles, we have to talk about financial statements. Make sure to remember when we talk about this important information, they all are going to be seen and based into what we call financial statements. Accountants are responsible of preparing financial statements. So, which are the financial statements? The financial statements are formal records of the financial activities and position of a business, person, or other entity. I repeat, financial statements are formal records of the financial activities and position of of a business, a person, or other entity. What are the accounting principles? When we talk about the financial statements, we will see that they are part of the accounting principles, and we'll see five elements in the financial statement: assets, liabilities, owner's equity, revenues, and expenses. Repeat after me: assets, liabilities, owner's equity, revenues, expenses. Now, let's analyze each of the terms. Assets. Here you have in a picture a restaurant. This is a business. Now, the restaurant owners or partners, they have bought different properties. Now, these properties that could be material, immaterial, or monetary are what we call assets. Can you tell me what is the name of assets in Spanish? Think about it. Let's go to the next slide. Liabilities. Teacher, what is a liability? A liability is an obligation that a person or a company must meet. They must pay and be responsible for. You have personal liabilities or you have business liabilities. Personal could be a credit card debt, a student loan, mortgages, or future obligations. Business liabilities could be bonds, other debts, taxes, or perhaps pension payments. Now, liabilities could be good for the company so they can help and grow the business, or they could be bad for the company so they have to pay off in the future and it's not necessarily convenient. What is liability or liabilities in Spanish? Pause the video and think about that. Then we have equity. Equity is the amount of capital invested or owned by an owner of a company. As you can see over here, you have the owner and is sharing, the business, the capital between all people here, like for example, the investors, the stockholders, and the employees. Then we have the revenue. Revenue is the money generated from normal business operations. How do you say revenue and equity in Spanish? Pause the video to see that. Then we have expenses. Business expenses could be from rent, the paying of rent, traveling and conveyance, telephone and internet expenses, salaries, and printing and stationery. An expense is the cost of operations that a company incurs to generate what? To generate revenue. There we go. So those are expenses. What are expenses in Spanish? How do you say that in Spanish? And finally, we have what we call accounting equation. Teacher, what is the accounting equation? It's very simple. Since assets are financed by equity and liability, the value of the assets in any business must be equal to the sum of equity and liability. So here you have the equation. Assets will be equal to the sum, the addition of equity and liabilities. So, as you have seen, we have explored the definition of accounting, the accounting purpose, the accounting principle, knowing more about the financial statement and its elements, and finally the accounting equation, exploring the meaning and the pronunciation of the keywords. Well, this will be the end of this video. Use this video to practice and solve the questions in a Google form that will be shown in Google Classroom. Well, dears, it's been a pleasure to work with you. Review and practice so we will see each other next class so you will see more about accounting. Take care. Bye.